weekend. We had so much hope going into this weekend. We really did. I think everyone did. What's up? Welcome to Valley Vision. I'm Abby Alonso, Joe Mitchell. We are going to talk about what happened in Tuscaloosa this weekend. I feel like I've kind of recovered a little bit, though I just listened to Brian Kelly's presser and got worked up all over again. Before we go there, though, I do want to say that we are having a tailgate this weekend. We got to plug that all week. Culture Media Tailgate, I kind of previewed it last week, but Saturday we'll be doing it for the Florida game. We'll drop the location whenever we have the exact location, but we'll have the sports cards out there, tables, beer, food. Make sure to swing by. We'll have some really cool guests as well flying in to come visit and hang out. Maybe bring the purple couch out there and do some stuff. And of course, we'll be doing the vlog. It'll look a little bit different, but still a good time. So make sure that you guys either hit us up to see where we're at or let us know where you guys are. So when we do start moving around with the camera and the mic, we come find y'all. All right, Joe, we were both really how do we tackle this? Talk about the game this weekend. We have to do it.
Yeah.
We can do it. We can do it respectfully, I think. Obviously, all hopes, wishes, dreams of an SEC championship are pretty much out the window, unfortunately. And I think, I don't want to use the word blame, but a lot of that has to do with the defensive performance that happened on Saturday. So many questions.
All of that has to do with the defensive performance on Saturday. It's not about blaming or not blaming.
It is
what it is.
It is what it is, exactly. I don't even know how to dissect everything that went wrong on the defense. It was all the progress they made coming into this. And granted, you were missing a lot of your key guys and you had some younger guys come in, but you knew this. You should have been prepared for it. You had 2 weeks to get ready for Alabama and you know what kind of challenge they posed for you. Why was and helped out in the second half? Because honestly, it got worse after halftime.
Yeah.
So what are we doing? Why were there no changes made? Or if there were, what were they? Because I didn't see them.
Yeah, I think I share that same frustration as well as a lot of LSU fans, around the state. I think there was a lot of people frustrated with that. I would have the same question. I don't know why we didn't do several things differently in the second half, but whenever you have a quarterback like Jalen Milroe, who has struggled all year with the short and mid pass game, he's been great downfield long bombs, but struggled in the short to mid pass game. He continued to struggle in the short to mid pass game early in the first half, but I can't count how many. Actually, I can't count. It was 11. They converted 11 third downs. And I'm curious to know, because I don't know this stat, but how many of those were 3rd and 8 or longer that were ran for or scrambled for by Jalen Milroe. You had linebackers. You had linebackers dropping 15 yards into pass coverage on 3rd and 8 down and distance. And that doesn't make much sense to me. So I'm curious as to if that's a lack of execution or if that was schematically if that was the plan. And I don't know the answer to that.
Excuse me. No, the linebacker. I think that situation, exactly what you said, is the biggest confusion for me. Why wasn't Whit Weeks used? Why are we using Harold Perkins incorrectly again? I thought we came out of week 1 and said, hey, we messed up. We're going to use him differently. Nope. Why are we not putting a spy out? And Brian Kelly did acknowledge that in his press conference today. He said, if we could go back in the coaching, if there were any coaching changes I would have made, it would be to use the spy technique. Man, I'm on Twitter at halftime and people random people with no coaching experience, maybe just LSU fans, we're all saying the same thing. I said it. I saw at least 7 other tweets. I had people agreeing with my tweet. Use a freaking spy. I feel like that's a no-brainer. Why are we overlooking that? You could have diminished a lot of the problems that we had. But again, we don't use the personnel correctly. We did not match up correctly. Matt House, there are a lot of questions coming your way, man. And it is what it is, I guess, but rightfully so.
Yeah.
After a performance like that, you do start to ask about your staff and whether you have the right guys on the staff, not just the players now.
I think the Matt House thing, one, like, I'm certainly this way. I know you are as well. Like, no, we're not people to ever call for anybody's job, and that's not what we're doing. But I think, and again, I'm not calling for his job, but I would imagine that ship has sailed. There's 3 games. You had Ole Miss, you had Arkansas, Ole Miss, Missouri back to back, where defensively LSU is really bad, and then you see in this performance as well. I think that ship has probably sailed, and we just won't see anything until the offseason. And if not, it's because Brian Kelly trusts his guy, and I think we should roll with him. He's a great coach. But
100%, you're not going to see any staff change, like major staff changes during the season. There's nothing on the line at this point to where you need to make a dramatic change in the middle of the season and kind of uproot people and stuff. After the season, you may see changes, and we kind of talked about this earlier. Dave Aranda is on the hot seat. Yeah. Would that be something you would want to see?
There's several guys around that. I don't want to get into this until that has happened, but there's several guys that I find interesting. Dave Aranda, of course, is one of them.
Yeah, defense. At this point, again, I was so hopeful going into this weekend. They've been talking about the progress they're making, and they seem very confident in these young guys to come out, and they've made the adjustments throughout the season, and then it was just like they forgot. Oh, what did we say again? Anyway, I do want to flip to the other side because
hold on, one more thing on that. LSU had 1 sack in this game. And it was in the first possession, the first defensive possession. They had 1 sack and didn't have another one for the remainder of the game. Gave up a record number of yards to Jalen Milroe and 4 rushing touchdowns. This is a team that had been sacked 35 times prior to the game this weekend. That's unacceptable.
We did talk about that last week, about that being a spot that we can capitalize on.
Mm-hmm. And I think there was. Again, I don't know the stats, so I don't want to misspeak here, but definitely single-digit times they brought more than 4. And I don't know exactly how many. It might have been 2, it might be 9, but they did not bring more than 4 rushers nearly enough, especially on 3rd down. So
I know there's not anything else on the line, but you would like to see them continue the season not the way that they did Saturday, to make the adjustments that we're talking about. Yeah. Figure it out. We are too far in to be having the same problems we had in week 1.
And I think that LSU fans have a bad taste in their mouth right now because of how that game went down. And at halftime, if you would have told me before the game that LSU and Alabama would be tied at halftime, I would say that I'll take Brian Kelly's coaching staff to make the changes necessary. If LSU is scoring at will on the Bama defense in that first half, I'd say, oh, okay, then we're going to win the game.
Right.
And obviously it didn't play out that way, but the point is I think a lot of LSU fans have a bad taste in their mouth because of how the end of the game went. But I do think there's a lot of positives as well, specifically offensively.
Yeah, well, again, the offense just continues to I thought it was going to be a shootout, coming down to the last possession, and the first half looked that way. I mean, you were going back and forth the whole time. And again, that's the offense overcompensating for what the defense could not do, just speaking to how great this offense is. And then the second half, all the wheels fell off the wagon.
And even, I'm sorry, I don't want to cut you off.
No, go.
Even the interception at the beginning of the fourth quarter, LSU's offense didn't do anything wrong on that play. It was an open receiver, it was a good route, it was the right read. Dallas Turner just made a good play. He got up and got a hand on the ball. So that's the things that a great defense can give you that ours don't. Against a really good offense, you have to have the defense that can make one game-changing play, and ours couldn't. And I don't want to hear people saying, well, Jayden threw that pick, and, the offense, we lost the turnover battle and everything. And, okay, fine, but I don't think that is an indictment on the offense based on that play. I think they practiced too.
Right, exactly.
They practiced too. They're a great team, and they made a play. We didn't screw anything up on that play, in my opinion.
And speaking of Jayden, so God bless, poor baby. I mean, got the life knocked out of him on that very questionable no call. Now, they called roughing the passer, and y'all know what I'm talking about. It was shown everywhere. I mean, he sat up and nobody was home. Again, got pulled out of the game for concussion protocol. Hopefully he's back this week. That play. And I do want, because it's been very controversial on social media, I feel like most people are on the side of like that was blatant targeting. But I have had a few people in my mentions saying like, no, I was roughing the passer. Where's the targeting? Thoughts on that?
I think there's two avenues to this conversation, because I have seen a lot of people saying targeting, and I've also seen a lot of people saying it was dirty. Don't think it was dirty. I think if you have the opportunity to get to the quarterback, you are taught to hit him and hit him hard, and you're not trying to ever injure anybody.
That's
but if
football,
you can give yourself an opportunity to get somebody out of the game, like, you're going to take that. And that's, as a coach, those are the guys you want. You want dogs who are going to go, and if they get an opportunity to hit the quarterback, to take advantage of it, not to play dirty, but to set a tone and send a message.
Yes, agreed. And I'm going to just cut you off for a second, because as I was going through the social media world, more footage of him doing dirty, like a little bit cheap shot, or like pushing people's head into the ground against Ole Miss. I don't know if you saw what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
but like
and that's different. But that play in particular is what I'm talking about.
It just, I guess, because of the player and previous things that he's done, it made it a little bit more questionable. Regardless of whether it was dirty or not, was it targeting by the book?
And so that's what I'm getting to. Yeah, I don't think it was dirty. But by the book, yeah, I mean, he led with his head, he landed on the quarterback. It was, contact to the head or neck area. I mean, he hit him in the chin. So, yeah, I do think it was targeting. But, you win some, you lose some. But it sucks, and it was incredibly frustrating to watch him continue to play.
Yeah, I'm not going to say that is not the reason LSU lost this game, but it did take a huge, any hope that the team may have had of, maybe they get a momentum swing and they pull through, and it was gone after that. And I do question, they reviewed that. Mm-hmm. It wasn't just a bad call, wrong call, we didn't review it, should have been this. They reviewed it and stuck to their guns on saying, no, that was roughing the passer. They also missed a huge horse collar and a couple pass interferences. This happens. They are people. The officials are humans. They're going to miss stuff. They're going to miscall stuff. But, they were adding up. And, of course, you have the conspiracy theorists that the SEC is for Alabama and they're making the calls on purpose. But it's frustrating. And you can't say it's not frustrating as a fan to see these things so blatantly. That horse collar on Jayden Daniels when he took off rushing just swung around nothing.
Yeah.
Anyway, I know people were fired up about that, so I just wanted to get your take on it. I thought it was targeting too.
And what's funny is it was called roughing the passer, and I think it's more so targeting than roughing the passer. He got there right as the ball was coming out. I didn't think it was a late hit or anything like that. I think it was just an illegal hit.
Yeah.
But regardless.
I made a joke on Twitter. I said, Devin White is screaming right now because y'all remember way back, what year was that when he got suspended and we had the whiteout game?
It was 2018.
2018. And it was much less of a hit than that was.
And so Devin White missed the first half of the Alabama game because of that hit.
I know. And we can't even get a targeting call. Anyway, the other big storyline here, so much happened on Saturday in one 60-minute game. Jayden Daniels Heisman, what's the word I'm looking for?
Odds?
Yeah, no, when you're, whatever.
Finish the rest of your thought.
I think of words all the time on this show, and I cannot say them. Candidacy, good Lord, was a huge, huge storyline going into this game. All eyes are on Jayden Daniels. What's he going to do? And then immediately after the game, it was it's done. His run is over. There's no way. But you informed me this morning that the Heisman odds for Jayden Daniels are actually better after losing to Alabama. So I have them here. Michael Penix Jr. plus 150. Bo Nix plus 200. I think you have Jayden Daniels plus 150 here, but he's plus 300.
He's plus 300.
Plus 300. So he's third. J.J. McCarthy is plus 600. He's seventh now, right? Is that what you said?
He's actually fourth.
Fourth? I don't know why I thought you said seventh. Anyway, he dropped below Jayden Daniels. To all the people that were on our butts about our hot take with J.J. McCarthy being over Jayden Daniels, Vegas agrees. And Jordan Travis plus 800. So, plus 300 odds. What do you know what he was coming into the Bama game?
I want to say the last game we talked about it, he was sitting at plus 1,000.
Yeah.
Which, they still had a lot of season left to play. We're down to just 3 games left. So obviously that will narrow it down. But yeah, he was plus 1,000. He opened the season at plus 1,200, and I remember us making this point because we said he opened the season at plus 1,200, lost 2 games, and it was plus 1,000. So his odds were consistently getting better.
And I think that goes to show this is not a team award. It's not how good your team is. It is specific to the player. And you've argued that point about how over the years it's kind of shifted. But if we refocus what this award actually is, Jayden Daniels lines up with somebody that should earn that. At least be in New York on December 9th.
It's defined as the most outstanding player in college football, and it's become the best player on the best team, which is unfortunate. But
I'd love to see, and I mean, of course, we'd love to see Jayden Daniels win it, but as somebody who would like to see the award go back to what it should be, it would be ideal for Jayden Daniels to win it this year because of the state of the team, because of the state of the defense. Like, going to show that you don't have to be on the best team or the most talented, most successful team to win this award or to be the best player in college football. So, plus 300 odds, really not bad. It's really good. And I really do think he could be in New York on December 9th.
Yeah, and I don't want to get into talking about who's a better prospect for the NFL, but that's an interesting point that you make because you look at USC and what Caleb Williams has been doing. Like, he's having a really good year, and they have 3 losses, so their record right now is equivalent to LSU's, but Jayden's been playing better, and so you look at the exact 2 scenarios and say Jayden is definitely more deserving than Caleb Williams right now, and he was the guy that everybody took preseason to win the Heisman, and I wonder if USC's record was better, where would Caleb Williams, what would his odds be right now? So. Not that holds any weight, but it's
no, but it's a good comparison to have the teams are in similar situations, and you have 2 guys that have been thrown in the Heisman conversation together for a couple weeks now, and you are seeing the differences. The other variables are the same. So, Florida on Saturday, another tough one. Again, you pray. And we'll get to talk to some of the guys tomorrow at Player Pressers and hear again from Brian Kelly on Thursday. But can they make the adjustments and stick to the adjustments going forward? And I know that's a little bit harder to do. Greg Penn said after the game that, they're focused on Florida. They understand what stakes were lost in that game, but they're going to continue to hopefully have a successful season and finish strong. And you hope to see that. You want to see them make the adjustments, make the progress, continue to go up rather than plateau or even descend, because next year, you're going to have a lot of the same guys on the team next year. They're going to be in the transfer portal. They're going to be recruiting really hard, but you want to see them finish this season successfully for hopes of next season. So Florida's the first test after losing a chance at the SEC championship. We'll see how that goes. Again, we'll hear from all the guys, from the staff, from the players this week, and we'll keep y'all updated on where their heads are at, what the plan is moving forward. On a brighter note, we have not only women's basketball tonight, but we have men's basketball. We are a basketball school. I'm putting that out there right now. As of today, again, we're a basketball school. The Hall of Fame game, what?
We're
a sports school.
Yeah.
I say it all the time, but I just really want to emphasize that we have both basketball teams playing tonight, and I'm super pumped. Women's basketball Hall of Fame game. This is a huge deal for this team, for this sport. They'll play in Vegas at 6:30 Central Time on TNT. I think it's also on HBO Max. Shaq will be on the broadcast, which is, again, super cool just to see it intertwine with an idol, an LSU icon like Shaq actually on the broadcast for not a men's sport but a women's basketball game is super cool. The women's team is ranked 1 and they'll play Colorado. So this is a top 20 matchup. Colorado is ranked 20th, I believe. And they made it to the Sweet 16 last season. They lost to Iowa. They return a lot of their roster from last year. So you're getting a really good one to kick off the season. We saw what the team was capable of doing in the exhibition games, but again, those are exhibition games. You're playing smaller schools. Game 1 of the season, we're starting hot. We're playing in Vegas. We're playing a top 20 matchup. So this is going to be a good one to tune into. You're going to get a really good look at what this team is, because you brought in Haley Van Lith, and I think that starting 5 will be similar to what we saw last week. It'll be Angel Reese, Flau'jae Johnson, Haley Van Lith, Anissa Morrow, and Michaela Williams. I think that's going to be the starting 5. You're going to see a lot of new chemistry. This is the prime time. Here's what we look like right now. It's not an easy game. It's going to be a tough matchup. We're going to show you everything we got. You're going to get a very good look at what this team can do. And Kim Mulkey talked about it last week, that these girls still have so much growing to do and so much fine-tuning, and there's so much more potential that you're going to see a huge difference from the beginning of the season to the end of the season. But, I mean, to have a top 20 matchup to kind of go off of for the rest of the season is sick. So I'm pumped. Again, I said we also have men's basketball tonight, so they have an exhibition game against Mississippi Valley State. Phone call. We are in a shop. Don't forget to come buy your sports cards here because we do sell them. Can someone answer the phone? Thank you, Mikey. Nope, can't find the phone. Well, that'd be funny because it's right next to Joe. It is. Such is life. This is reality. We're not going to front here. We're very real. The phone was ringing. Joe didn't see it was on his desk. I'm giving you a play-by-play. He just tossed it to Mikey. Mikey, you got it? We're good. Okay, so men's basketball does have an exhibition game tonight. They are playing Mississippi Valley State in the PMAC at 7 o'clock. Now, there's been some headlines around men's basketball because of Jalen Cook. Now, Jalen Cook came back from Tulane, was supposed to be a huge part of this team. The NCAA is not allowing him to play this season. And LSU released a statement saying, we're going to not challenge. I can't think of words, y'all. Appeal. Thank you. Appeal it. Look into it. Try to fight for Jalen to be able to play this season. As far as I know, it is not being overturned. He does not have eligibility this year, which is a hit to this team. But you still have a very talented roster. You look like you want to say something.
Yeah, the NCAA is a joke, by the way. And I'm gonna
we could go we could have a whole show on that point right there. Go. I'll give you 30 seconds to say what you want to say about the NCAA.
Yeah. Okay, so can we at least get it consistent across sports? And if we're not going to get it consistent across sports, get it consistent across one sport. Because why is it that Jalen, I understand he's a 2-time transfer. That's fine. You have quarterbacks in the NCAA transferring 4 times. For example, JT Daniels right now is at Rice. He started at USC, then transferred to Georgia, then transferred to West Virginia, and is now at Rice, and he's played at every school every year. Meanwhile, you have a receiver at North Carolina who can't get eligible until 5 games into the year. Mm-hmm. Now you're seeing Jalen Cook. It's unbelievable. It is truly, truly ridiculous that the NCAA can't figure this out.
Like I said, we could have a whole show on the faults of the NCAA. We're not going to. But I think that's one of my biggest issues too. Be consistent. Across sports, across athletes, there should be no gray area in situations like this. It's black or white. And I understand you do have some cases that you have to take into account, like maybe transferring twice. But in the same scenario, if you've got somebody transferring 4 times, have the same rules. Even
we can look at LSU and in LSU's running back field, you have Trey Bradford. He started at LSU, transferred to Oklahoma, and then transferred back to LSU, and he's good to go. He's eligible.
So what's the difference? And what's sad? You can ask these questions, you won't get answers. And really, it's very, it's not often that these things get overturned because they just do whatever they want. Anyway. Okay, so yeah, men's basketball in the PMAC tonight. So maybe, I know I will be there. Anthony will be coming with me. We'll be live tweeting, going to the presser after to get some answers for Valley Vision. And I will also be watching the women's game on HBO Max. So double basketball, super cool. So excited. We did have some more teams win this weekend. I know football didn't come through, but volleyball and baseball did. Hopefully both basketball teams add to that tonight. Volleyball beat Bama 3-1. It was senior day yesterday, so a lot of those girls got honored in the PMAC. Journey Robinson, 5th double-double of the season. I feel like I say her every single time we talk about LSU volleyball. I talk about Journey Robinson. She's great. She's young, a freshman. This is going to be another player that you see develop throughout the next couple years. She's already coming in here. I mean, 5 double-doubles in this season. It's incredible. Her hitting power, truly something to watch for sure. Anita Anwusi had a career-high 4 aces, also had 9 kills. So they looked good yesterday. They will take it on the road to play Florida on Friday. So they've got the whole week to prepare for that. We've seen them go up and down throughout the season when they have the chemistry going. They're good at the net. There's less errors. And then we've seen them go into dips where lots of careless errors. I'm in Taylor Swift mode for some reason. I don't know. But it looks like they're kind of on a little run here, hopefully to continue that in Florida on Friday. Baseball, more scrimmages, but also they actually played a different team this weekend. They went to Lake Charles and played McNeese. They won 9-6. So you know how these fall ball games go? It's like really, really long, like 4 or 5.5 hours kind of thing. They played 10 innings and then they played another 8 innings after that. So long day for the boys, but 9-6 came out on top over McNeese. Hayden Travinsky and Ethan Frey each had home runs, and Aiden Moffitt had 5 strikeouts and 2.2 innings pitched. And they will play again on Sunday, this time at home against UL. That's always a cool matchup to see the 2 Louisiana teams, or 2 of the Louisiana teams, play in Alex Box. So if you want to check that out, they will be playing on Sunday.
Louisville's from Kentucky. They're not Louisiana.
Oh my God, you do it to me every time. ULL.
Yeah, they're not Louisiana.
Go Cajuns.
They don't just get to call themselves Louisiana. They're Louisiana Lafayette, or we can go back to USL if we want. But, whatever.
You've called me out for that
Yeah.
on this show like 2 months ago.
Yeah.
Well, if you're from here, okay, poll question, we'll put it in the comments, I guess. What do you call them?
ULL.
I said UL?
Yeah, I make them wear Lafayette. They are not Louisiana. They are not the flagship of Louisiana. That's LSU.
You're petty. You're so petty, dude. I always say UL. I feel like everyone. I guess if you go there, you say UL too. They all say UL.
They for sure do. But it's like Texas A&M putting Texas Aggies on their baseball uniforms. Like, no. Texas is the flagship of Texas. Like, it's Texas Longhorns and Texas A&M Aggies. And they're just trying to, look, I get it. They're trying to boost their brand. They are little brother. Like, I get it. But it's just.
Joe is petty. It's Monday. We can't start with the pettiness today. We have a long week. A long week. Mm-hmm. A long week. Yeah. Okay, so ULL will play in Alex Box on Sunday. Go check out the baseball team. We'll round out with Tiger Tea. Fun Tiger Tea. Oh my gosh, the cup. The cup came in, the coffee cup. It's okay, we couldn't find a teacup, so this is what we have to do. These are on sale on our website. They're really cool. This is our, I'll just sip a little bit. I feel like I should put something in here when I'm talking about Tiger Tea. But, yep, Valley Vision mugs. Again, we've posted out there. We've got awesome stuff. I know the weather's all over the place. We have some cool hoodies. It's 80 degrees outside, so maybe don't wear it today. I wore it to the gym the other day. I got a good sweat in. So hats, cups, obviously, bucket hat. I mean, everything. Go check it out. We would love to see y'all stunt some of our stuff. And if you're a coffee drinker, it's pretty fire mug here. Or if you like tea too, you could put tea in here. Anyway, Tiger Tea. I'm just going to hold this, not break it. Shaq is playing at Fred's on Friday. We're going. Joe didn't even know that yet. We're going. We have to.
We? Are we?
All of us are going.
I wasn't.
We have to because, y'all, this is an LSU sports show, but I told y'all at the beginning, we also highlight the culture of LSU. And I feel like Shaq playing at Fred's is a culture piece. LSU culture, like in a bubble. You have to go. If you don't go to Shaq on Friday, anyway, you might be a little lame. We're going to go. Joe, that was for you because if you don't go, you're lame. Got it?
Noted.
That's all we have for today. We will be back on Thursday. Oh, some exciting stuff. So, pending, we do have a guest for Thursday. I can't reveal who it is yet. You'll just have to come back and see. We're making sure that things line up. He should be here Thursday, possibly Friday, but really cool content coming at y'all. So we've got that on Thursday. I'll be at the men's basketball game tonight. You can see some of that content on my personal Instagram. Friday, we'll preview Florida LSU. And Saturday, we will have our tailgate with the vlog coming to hang out with all of you. We appreciate y'all for watching. We really do. And we will see y'all soon.